Welcome back to the Studio Backdrops YouTube channel, where we talk about photography, videography, and so much more to create the best content out there. Let's talk about the ScrimX Curved Reflector. So what is a curved reflector? It's just like a normal reflector, but in a C shape. So what is a curved reflector used for? A curved reflector has been famously and historically used for beauty portraits. It acts like a soft wraparound fill in the dark areas of a subject's face. It is also used in business headshots and recently has been used a lot in bridal portraits to add a soft glow to the bride's face. Now let's unpack the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector together. Every ScrimX Curved Reflector comes in a carry bag like this. This is the mounting support bracket for installation. These are the curved rods for installing the reflector. These are the connector rods for connecting two ends of the reflector. These are the mounting points for the connectors. This is a standard ScrimX Curved Reflector fabric with a silver finish. And this is the extra detachable reflector fabric with white on one side and a chevron pattern with silver and gold on the other side. Now let's talk about the build quality of the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector. All the metallic components of the curved reflector are made from solid steel and have a powder coated finish. Both the standard fabric and the detachable reversible fabric are made from Oxford nylon and are incredibly durable and long-lasting. Before I show you how to install the AriesX Curved Reflector, let me tell you about the two sizes it is available in. The AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector is available in 60 by 120 and 60 by 180 centimeter sizes. If you're confused about which size to choose between the 60 by 180 and 60 by 120, let me tell you how to make your decision. If you want a softer, more wraparound glowing light, choose the bigger size because it will take in all of the light that is available at a larger surface area and reflect it back into a central focus point. With the 120 centimeter, it will just do it a little bit less. Now, let me show you how to set up the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector with push button mechanisms on either side. So take the empty rods and connect it here. Gently press down on this button when you insert it into the other rod. There, it's locked in place. Now do the same thing for the other end. Now one side is completely ready. Now let's do the other side. Now before we proceed any further, we need to slide the fabric inside these two rods. There, one side is successfully inserted. I would suggest you take the help of a friend if you have one while doing this, because it's very difficult to do it alone. Okay, now both rods are inserted successfully into the frame. Now we need to connect both of these rods with the connectors on either end. You do that simply by first inserting the connector into the other rod pocket and then inserting it into the hole of the curved rods and then connecting the other side. There, one side is successfully connected. There. Now let's put the knobs on either end to secure the connectors in place. Now, the basic shape of your curved reflector is set up. We need to mount the installation bracket at the bottom. It's best to invert the reflector at this point of time. Now you will find that there are two slots here. Insert it through both slots on either side. And then screw it back in place. There, your curved reflector is now successfully set up. Let's see how to install the curved reflector on a light stand. First and foremost, you can see that the installation bar of the curved reflector has a swivel mount on it, which means you can change the angle at which the curved reflector is placed. Let's do it at 90 degrees for right now. Once that is done, attach it to the stand. If you can see, there is already a marked difference on my face as the light is bouncing back and filling up all these areas of my face. And that is why you need a curved reflector. It lifts up all the shadows on the face and makes the subject look absolutely glowing. So with the swivel head of the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector, you can easily change angles of the reflector like this to adjust the bounce of the light onto your subject's face. The AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector also comes with its additional detachable fabric, which can be mounted onto this reflector with the help of Velcro. It's as easy as matching the corners first. So match each corner. And then we'll ensure that the fabric is properly stretched out across the entire length of the reflector. Now let's try the other side. This side has a mixed silver and gold chevron pattern. The interchanging gold and silver chevron lines on this reflective material adds a brilliant and luminescent glow on the subject's face and bring out all the micro contrasts and details of the pigments on your subject's face. It's a great reflector to have for beauty and fashion portraits. With a curved reflector like this, all the incident light from your main light source falls onto the reflector and it's bounced inwards towards the center of curvature of this curved reflector. So the center of curvature, which essentially exists 1 to 1.5 feet away from the center of this reflector, is the ideal place to place your subject for that ultimate wraparound, soft glowing light. Now I will demonstrate to you the kind of effect you can achieve with the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector, whether be in a photography or a videography situation. For example, in this setup, we are using an LED light with a AriesX beauty box to light up our subject. Let me introduce you to Arinuma from studiobackdrops.com.
Hi, everyone.
As you can see, this beauty box at an angle is throwing a harsh light on her face, which is creating these deep shadows under her chin, under her nose, and under her eyes. Now, these harsh shadows make the face look very sunken in. This is not the kind of flattering result that we would want our subject to have, or any subject to have, be it in a photo or a video. Now, let's see what kind of difference we can make to this kind of a lighting by introducing the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector and filling up those shadows. As you can see, the curved reflector has a curvature on it. Whenever we work with incident light falling on a curved surface, there is a physics term called center of curvature, which is somewhere around here. So all the light that is falling on this curved reflector is getting bounced back to a central point. Ideally, you want to place your subject at that central point. The only good way to find the central point is just by tweaking the diffuser up and down a little bit and finding the best lighting and the fill. Now let's do that. So I'm opening the swivel mount and I'm just gonna try to feather the light. As you can see, there's a visible difference you can notice. Here there is no reflection, no fill, but as I bring it back in, the fill emerges till it falls off again. So this point, if you can see, is the perfect amount of fill that we want. It's filling in all those shadows very nicely. So let's lock it here. So as you can see, this reflector is filling in all the shadows and adding a soft, nice glow to the image. That is what we need, and that is why we use a ScrimX Curved Reflector. Now that I've shown how to adjust the ScrimX Curved Reflector in terms of your subject, let's talk about the different light sources you can use with the curved reflector like this. As you can see, we are using an LED light, which is a 500 watt bicolor light. It is color temperature at 5600 Kelvin. You can also use it with the photography flash, like the AriesX X Pro 600 or the AriesX Express 600, or any flash for that matter. But the cool part is you can actually even use it with sunlight. Imagine it is noonday sun and the sun is falling directly onto the reflector. It will bounce back that very same light and give you the same beautiful result even with natural sunlight. So even though it's a specialty product for very simple use cases, you can use it even in natural light, and that's what makes it special. Now, let's talk about the kind of reflectors or light modifiers you need with your lights to use a ScrimX Curved Reflector. Ideally, beauty portraits or any kind of very close-up shots need a hard light because you want everything to be very evenly lit. So ideally, you put a metal 7-inch reflector or a metal beauty dish on the subject face from top like this, like the way this is there. This light falls, illuminates this part of the face and leaves everything in shadow. This is also called as paramount lighting, which is basically where you put the light at a 45-degree angle at 3 to 4 feet above the model. Paramount lighting is what is most commonly used with beauty portraits and close-up shots. So when you have your light set up in a paramount lighting setup, it creates shadows here, it creates a butterfly shadow here, and it creates shadows here. We fill that up with the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector. Now that we've seen the kind of effect you get with the silver reflector, let's see what effect we can get with the other two reflectors included. Now let's begin with showing the effect of the white side of the reflector. You want to ensure that the detachable reflector is held taut by the frame so that it creates an even thing. You can already see, I'm sure, that the punchy highlights that were being created by the silver reflector has changed into a softer highlights. So there is no reflection here, and look at that. It creates a very muted soft glow, and that's what you need the white side of the reflector for. Now let's show how the gold and silver chevron pattern looks. Okay, now let's attach the gold and silver chevron side. You can already see that there is a warm light glow here. And if you see the catchlight in her eyes, it looks much more natural. The gold and silver work together to make the light look natural, and you can directly see in camera the kind of effect it has. It makes the face look so nice. And this is something I would recommend anybody to use when you're working with a bridal portrait, because with that, all the jewelry you have on a bride's face and the soft makeup, this reflector will do wonders. I hope you now have a better understanding of the AriesX ScrimX Curved Reflector and how you can use a curved reflector to level up your content. If you still have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back next time with more such videos. Thank you.